What's up, Aries? Welcome to your October 2020 Creativity Tarot reading. My name is Kaylee Jean, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I do these readings for creatives, artists, and entrepreneurs, and anyone who's working on their personal growth or their self-expression, or even their spirituality in any form. So I encourage you to go ahead and keep watching if those areas of life are important for you, and let's get into it. While I was tuning in for you, Aries, I did get a message that this is an important month for you, and that's not really unusual given that you have your full moon this month, which typically indicates, a time of powerful expansion for you in the year. But there's a lot of energy of chance and synchronicity around you. As I was tuning in, I was shown a roulette table and like the ball kind of falling into a number, and there's like this moment where the ball is going and everything is really quiet, everyone's really engaged, and then there's this sense of like, oh my gosh, like that was perfect, or that was so unusual, or that was like a really powerful I guess you could say either synchronicity or coincidence, depending on what you believe and how you kind of view the world. But I do feel like something is kind of working out in a very statistically improbable way for you this month. It could be a good thing, but I do feel it's a good thing. Let me rephrase that. I feel like it's a good thing for you, but I also feel like there's a sense of like, oh my gosh, now that this is coming together, I actually have to go with it. And there's an element of fear with that, and there's an element of awareness of what you would be leaving behind as you move towards this kind of new experience that I guess you could say chance or synchronicity is sort of putting you, putting in front of you. So let's take a look at your cards and we'll get some more information. Aries, clarifying guidance for Aries. I've been shuffling for a while, thinking about you and your energy, and I chose to use this deck. It's the Halloween Tarot by Kipling West, and I just chose it. I know it's kind of a silly deck, but I like to embrace lightheartedness in my readings, and I like to embrace kind of a more lighthearted approach to life as well. So I just felt like this would be a fun deck to use for you guys this month. Aries. Okay. Let's take a look at your path card and the influence or obstacle. We've got Hawk. Yep. Interesting, because that really speaks to the energy that came through in the meditation about change, right? And moving towards something new. The Hawk is shamanically associated with news, letters coming in, emails, phone calls, something coming to you that you didn't know before. It's new information, and there's an energy of a change being in the wind, right? With this card, there's an energy of being mobile and kind of like flying or kind of like swooshing. I can almost hear the hawk like swooshing through. There's some kind of the winds of change coming into your life. And we have the Panther as the influence, which in this case I do feel is an obstacle as well, but it's also something that is beneficial for you. The Panther is about facing fears. In my mind, it is, visually kind of a darker card, which is fitting for, the energy of October. We have, not only is October naturally kind of that spooky month, which I absolutely love. But there's also a feeling with this month, in particular with the astrology in for you guys as well personally, with the full moon in your sign. There's a lot of hard aspects leading up to that full moon, during that full moon, and immediately afterwards. That we're all going to be experiencing, but it will be particularly influential for you. And I think that the way in which that is going to manifest for many of you is in this idea of like facing your fears. I see this almost as like this panther representing kind of like a boogeyman energy. It's like something that you're afraid of that you kind of worked up in your mind and you've built it up as this like kind of stressful thing. But then when you actually go into it, you find out, like in Snow White, you know, where there's all the eyes looking at her in the dark and she's really afraid. But then when the dawn comes, or, you know, when like, I think, can't remember if it's dawn or the clouds are like covering the sun. But anyway, the clouds part or the sun rises and it's all these cute little like rabbits and deer and stuff. And so there's a sense with this energy of like, yes, it can be painful, it can be scary, it can be adrenaline inducing to face your fears. But generally, what happens on the other side of that is you realize that it wasn't such a big deal. But that doesn't take away from the stress that you feel in the moment. Okay, so just be aware of that. Yeah, and then we've got the Nine of Bats, which is this deck's version of the Nine of Swords. Again, there's like a feeling of extreme angst with this. So because this is coming up in the beginning of the month, many of you are probably already experiencing this. It's not something new. Yeah, we have Judgment. Wow, with a full moon pictured. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. King of Ghosts and Three of Ghosts. Two of Imps. 10 of Bats. Knight of Ghosts and Strength. Interesting. Okay. So there's a lot that's coming through here. This month for you, Aries, has a lot to do with your thoughts and your emotions. This is a very mental and emotional month for you, where I do feel that you can accomplish things in your life, but you're going to be dealing with a lot of questioning of like, how is my approach working for me, right? Like there's going to be a lot of like, I guess, I think I want to say you'll benefit, Aries, from taking regular intervals in October where you give yourself permission to kind of pause and reflect on how you're reacting to things. Because there is going to be a tendency, particularly in the very beginning of October, right around your full moon, there's going to be a tendency for you to want to react kind of like fearfully to things or react out of stress. And it's normal and acceptable for you to feel that way. I think the situation, you know, it can be stressful for some of you. Some of you may feel judged in the first week of October, particularly around your full moon, which is on the 1st. But there's overall that first week of October, there's a sense of judgment, not in like necessarily a harsh way, but there's a sense of, have I done enough? Or am I good enough for this? Or there's a sense of maybe if some of you have neglected things in the past, you might be concerned about the consequences of that, right? But the best thing to do if you are in that situation, Aries, if there is something that you are feeling like, oh my gosh, I didn't take action on that, and now, you know, let's say for example, if you didn't have great credit because you just never put a lot of intention into it, or there was some things with your credit that you had to do but you just didn't for a while. And the first week of October, maybe you want to buy a house, or you want to get a car, you want to make a big purchase, and you're worried now that this thing that you kind of could have taken action on 6 months ago or a year ago, you could have started that process, then there's almost this fear of like, oh my gosh, like I didn't do that, and now, I put that off, and now I'm in the situation where I really wish I did that. Some of you could be in that situation. Others of you could be up for a promotion, for example, and feeling like there's a lot of pressure of someone looking over you and kind of holding some kind of power or authority, and they're maybe scrutinizing you, and you're kind of worried, am I going to stand up to the scrutiny, or have I, do I have enough on my record to prove myself? So there's a lot of concern. Some of you could even be applying to school or just trying to get accepted in some way, and you're afraid of whether or not that acceptance is going to come through. That's definitely the energy that I'm picking up. Now, again, I want you to just do whatever you need to do to kind of keep calm. You know those memes that were going around the internet like 10 years ago or something, where it would say something like, keep calm and knit, or keep calm and just keep going, or it had like a little crown on it, I think. I feel like that's what you need. That's the message. That's the meme that you need, is just keep calm and keep going in that first week of October. Okay, Aries, that's really what I'm seeing, is you're just over stressing about something, and there's really no other way out but through. You just have to get through it. You just have to do your best, put your best foot forward, and then accept whatever the outcome is. Find that position internally of surrender within yourself. Now, the second week of October actually looks like a nice uptick in your emotional state, and I think that this could partly be coming in the form of spending more time with friends, or spending more time with specifically a water sign person, because this is the king of ghosts, which is the king of cups in the regular tarot deck. And then we also have the three of ghosts, which is the three of cups in the regular tarot deck. So again, this is a feeling of spending good time with family members or friends or people who support you. It could be opening up about some of the things that have been stressing you out, right, in the first week. In the second week, you could be kind of relaying these concerns to a friend or a trusted confidant, a counselor even. Someone is kind of giving you feedback and helping you to see the situation from a new angle, perhaps, or helping you to feel accepted no matter what. And that's a really beautiful feeling. And I just see a lot of kinship coming into your life that you're really enjoying. So make some time for friends and connections. Or if you are in need of professional help, such as, counseling, something along those lines, don't hesitate to get that support, because I really do feel that you will get some emotional fulfillment from that. And you'll understand yourself and your thoughts better. The third week of October, we have the Two of Imps and the 10 of Bats. So imps in this deck are wands, they're the fire element, and the 10 of Bats is the 10 of Swords. So you are coming to what I would call kind of like a crucial decision point in the third week of October. Right as the sun is gearing up to move into Scorpio, possibly right around that time for you, Aries, you could feel a change point in your, I guess I want to say your attitude is going to feel more clear. The sun in Scorpio is a little bit more of a harmonious energy for you, because Scorpio is the other Mars-ruled sign. So when we have energies going on in Scorpio, you're going to naturally feel a little bit more like yourself, in that energy. Whereas when the sun is in Libra, which it's in now, you can feel a little bit less clear, because Libra is Mars's sign of detriment. So when your ruler is, when the sun or something, like really powerful, like if there's the sun or a big stellium, something that's drawing in a lot of Libran energy in the sky, inherently that can feel a little bit more confusing for you, right? Because that's your ruler's sign of fall. So it's not a sign, unless you have a lot in Libra in your chart, it's not really a sign that you work with that energy supernaturally. It's more like you have to actually put thought into things and really train yourself and work on things. Whereas when the sun or big stelliums and things like that are in, Scorpio or Aries or maybe the fire signs, it's just you react a little bit more instinctually, and your instincts just feel more spot on. All of these energies are good. It's just a matter of, what you have to do, like what's required of you in order to succeed amidst the current astrological weather that is going on. And you should feel more decisive as the sun moves into Scorpio. I do think that you are separating, because here this little, I don't know what this is, but he's pulling apart these two imps, and then there's the 10 of Bats, which is an ending. So I think you're kind of pulling things apart in your life and realizing, okay, this is what I want and this is what I don't want. So you're kind of saying goodbye to something more decisively in the third week of October. Again, talking this through with people that you trust, or even a coach or a professional, like I said before, could be really helpful for you. But I think you're going to have the clarity and the ideas that are going to be able to move you forward more strategically in your business or in your creativity in whatever way this is manifesting. It really does feel like a big career choice is being made in the third week of October, and I think that you are on the right track with it, because the next week at the end of October, we have the King of, or the Knight of Ghosts and Strength. So this is where I think that news comes in that we saw with the hawk, because here we have a knight and he's holding a, it looks like a scroll, even though it's the Knight of Ghosts, which he would normally have a cup. This deck chose to put him with a scroll, and there's this like kind of happy little ghost in the corner that looks happy to receive the scroll. Do you see what I mean? And then we have Strength, which is about going into something, again, that you can be afraid of. She's going right to the mouth of the lion, which is the part of the lion that could harm her, you know? And so it's like news coming of an opportunity for you that's going to require courage. It's going to require gentle strength and self-trust. And that's the end of the month for you. You are feeling stronger by the end of October. You are feeling more clear, and you also are getting, I think, some synchronicities or some signs coming through for you towards the end of the month that let you know that you're on the right track, even though it won't be easy, right? Because it's the Strength card, which is, you know, it requires persistence, it requires presence, okay? So that's kind of what I'm seeing for you, Aries. I think that by the end of the month, when we have the full moon coming up, that's going to be conjunct Uranus in Taurus on Halloween, which is pretty crazy. You're actually going to be sitting pretty in that energy, I think. Like, you're not going to be too shaken up by that. It could be because it's in your second house. It could have to do with finances, like a big financial opportunity, because it's Uranus and a full moon in Taurus, which is your second house. It could be a big financial opportunity, something that's shaking things up in your career, perhaps. But it's, I think for you, it's opening doors, because, you know, you've got this, which is good. It's news. It's something that is a potential, but you're going to have to work for it. And I think it's going to be good. So let's take a look at your Bob Ross message. This is a happy place. Little squirrels live here and play. So your home is your sanctuary this month, Aries. If you ever feel overstimulated, definitely work on something at home, redecorate, or just spend some good quality time at home. Okay, Aries, thank you so much for being here. I hope this reading has been helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Or just leave me a little emoji pumpkin, or just write pumpkins, something like that. I would love to hear from you guys, and those types of comments are also really helpful to grow my channel and support my channel's growth in the algorithm. So if you want to say thank you because you got something from this reading, go ahead and leave me a little Halloween themed message or an emoji with a pumpkin or something like that. I would absolutely love to see that. And again, it's just so helpful. So thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I will talk to you next time.